We're all good
Can't
to
hear.
go. You just want to do
Yes.
the intros quickly. Who's on the
Yes.
call? Who's going to be
That's
chatting?
right. So
Who's
we're going
part
to,
of the discussion panel?
yeah. All right. So, PJ, would you like to introduce yourself quickly?
Yeah, sure. So my name is PJ Davies. I actually run the whole company, Loading Growth Company, but I first and foremost run the lead gen part of the program for Loading Growth, part of the E12 program. So anything to do with lead gen, I do. Also help Ian with on the E12 program with clients. I'm based here on the Gold Coast, just down the road from Brisbane. Just moved into my new house. Been waiting for 2 years to build. It's finally finished. I'm in my new home, so it's wonderful. So now it's get cracking to set down my roots in Australia. So I'm looking forward to the challenges and today's session and learning everybody where they're from, what challenges they have. So that's basically who I am. And it's what I do in the company.
Brilliant. Thanks, PJ. So I'm Ian. I'm the founder of the business. PJ does all the things that I don't want to do. And I'm really grateful for him to be part of the company, because there's a lot of things, as you folks know, when you're running a business, there's a lot of admin and tasks that weigh you down, and you can't focus on getting the right outcomes for your clients. And the same thing happens even with us as a coaching business. We've got to have the right people in place so we can get the right outcomes for our clients. So saying that, PJ is the general manager. He does the lead gen. It's important around lead gen. A lot of people don't really understand marketing and lead gen. That's his focus, and he does really well with that. The second person is Josephine. She's on the call as well today. You might have even spoken to Josephine at some stage, guys. Josephine basically is one of our customer success managers. She reaches out. Hi, Josephine. Would you just like to say hi? I don't know if you jump off mute. Okay, you're on mute, but it doesn't matter. You can see Josephine in the crowd. That's fantastic. So Josephine always talks to our clients, making sure they're happy, making sure that they are basically up to speed with what's happening in the industry. Also, on top of that, she'll probably reach out to you after this call to see if there's anything, feedback or anything you would like to do from the call today. If you want to kick on and learn or do anything else with us, is that opportunity as well. Okay, so Josephine's there. We've also got Harry in the background. Harry's our Sherpa, and he is our one of the guys that looks after the E12 Everest program, which is what we're going to be talking about today a little bit. All the content's coming from that, and he makes sure that all our clients are up to scratch with all the things around the program itself. So our guys that are in the program in our community get to speak to Harry quite a bit. So they're the 4 people that you speak to. We've got a team of about 24 people in the company. So it's a decent sized company. We've got clients in UK, US, and Australia, New Zealand. That's our area. Majority of our clients are in Australia, okay, time zones and everything else. So there's a lot of people that will be watching the recording of this in UK and the US because of different time zones. What we're going to cover on today, folks, is we're going to cover on the 4 topics, okay? The future roadmap, as I mentioned early on. The future roadmap is really, really about, the concept is your past your future? And unfortunately in business and in actual life, personal life, that statement is really, really true 99% of the time, unless you change something, all right? So when people come to us, and I'll tell you, this is quite interesting. When people come to us all the time, we do a strategy call, a 45-minute strategy call. I've actually asked Josephine to put the 45-minute strategy call into the chat. Josephine, if you can, or Jan Lee, I should say, if you can, put that call into that chat, the 45-minute call, back into the chat again. For anyone, just copy that and keep it in your browser. If you want more information from any of these topics, book some time in with me. I'll go through it with you. I'll give you 45 minutes for free. And we'll do that between now and the end of November, because we're really busy and we've got a lot of things happening in December, January for our clients. So I'll give you that opportunity to jump on for those calls. A few people do at the end of these sessions, and that's fantastic. They want to get a bit more out of it. And we're here to serve our community, and we're really passionate about our community, which is you folks out there. So the reason I get really anti and ramped up about the future component is we have our strategy calls. with our potential clients that want to join us. We write down a whole lot of information. I'll speak to them a year later or 2 years later, and guess what? They haven't moved. They're stuck at 10 people or 5 people or 30 or 50 people. They're stuck. They haven't moved on. There are certain barriers that are holding you back to actually achieve the next step. Okay, so it's really important to really, when we do this exercise today, is just to be realistic about it for yourselves. I'm not going to ask everyone to jump out and give us some numbers or anything like that, because it's pretty open and it's confidential, but I would love you guys to really put some effort into that session as we go on. The next one is the one-page strategy. You can read that content there on the actual slide. That's really going to be powerful. We've got that workbook in the channel. If you haven't got it yet because you joined late, just ping and someone will jump in and resend it to you guys. The preloaded calendar we've spoken about, and the roadmap, which we take all our clients through, which we've been doing for the last 7 years. And it actually helps our clients get clarity, get focus, so they can execute. And I say that all the time to our clients. If you don't have clarity, you won't actually have focus, and you won't actually have execution. And that's one of the biggest drawbacks. We've got content, we've got accelerators, we've got education, we do a lot for our clients. And, probably 30% to 40% of the value that we probably give to our clients the most is keep them accountable, right? Keep them focused. I have clients phoning me all the time saying, Ian, we would love to do this and love to do that. Okay, well, hang on, let's put up your plan. If you're going to do that new activity or new task, we've got to take something else off the plan. Otherwise, you're going to fail. And we have this discussion over and over again. Really important. Okay. All right. So what I want you to get for you guys from the session, you really need to, put your hand on the heart. Okay. Because we don't do all these sessions all the time. And we really want you guys to build a plan for the next 1 to 3 years. We want you to get some actions from this, so you can immediately execute and to tackle some challenges that you have and work on what's the next right thing, and also to free up time for yourselves. Okay. So we've been through this. Keep your cameras on if you can. Even if you're driving, doesn't matter. If you running from one meeting to another, it's awesome. Please unmute yourselves. Be part of the discussion. It's really important. And download the workbooks. Before we do this, we've got a lot of content that we put out there, a ton of content. So LinkedIn, if you guys are following us, have a lot of content out there. We've got YouTube, our channel we've started about a month ago. We've got a Facebook group, and probably 50% of you are on Facebook. Join that group. We've got tons of videos, tips and tricks and accelerators and frameworks in that group. So I'll ask, quickly, I'll ask Jan Lee, can you drop that Facebook group into the chat, please? Quickly, for those guys, just to quickly sign up. And while you're on there, guys, and you're probably downloading the workbook or whatever else, if you can get that workbook, it's fantastic. Please join us on the Facebook group as well, because there's a lot of stuff we go and we get out there, and we do more and more on the Facebook group as well as LinkedIn. So it's trying to help you guys. There's a free load of content that we always deliver, new and updated. So if you can do that, that's great. So there's a Facebook group that's been popped into chat. Just jump on that. It'll be awesome to see people do that. All right. All right, let's get on to this. This is the really interesting part to start the session off. And we do this a lot. Okay, it's one of my coaches. He's actually in New York. He's quite a famous coach. I'm not going to mention his name. I was going to say Todd is his first name, but he goes through this all the time with us on our sessions. And really, it's actually quite amazing. Okay, because does your past equal your future? You would have all heard that concept many times over. And unfortunately, if you don't change, if you don't start to think about what's good for you and put those steps in place, then actually you're never going to change. All right. And that's quite sad as a human being to do that. And I have a discussion with my family, my kids all the time. And I'd say, if that's what you want, that's what you're going to get. And it's a fact of life. So what I want you guys to do quickly is just obviously going to do this on, by yourself. I know some of you guys got teams on the call as well, which is great. You can do this in the background. But what does, the future really look like for you? So let's say today Let's say today is the 13th of October. Let's say in 12 months' time, we're having this discussion once again, 12 months' time. What I would love to actually write down, and you can just do this on a piece of paper, best, good, 12 months' time, below, and worst. You can draw that little box. It's pretty simple. Okay, it's really important to do this. What does the best scenario look like for you as either a business owner or in the leadership team or whatever your position you're in? What does the best scenario look like for you in your business? Okay, I'm going to give you a moment or two to think about it. What does the best scenario really feel like for you? All right. Is that, working 50 hours a week instead of 70 hours a week, which a lot of my clients, unfortunately, we pull back and try and get them down to 40 hours a week. Is it having a management team around you? Is it having a leadership team around you? What are the big things that drive? Now, when I normally do this, people jump to figures, numbers, because it's easy to think about that. So if you want to think about a revenue number, all right, let's think about a revenue number. Let's say if you're doing, I'm just going to do some basic numbers here. Let's say you're doing $1 million today, turnover. Some of you are doing a lot more. Some of you are doing maybe less. I don't know where you are, but you know where you are. Write that down. Write down your revenue number, what you're doing today. If you don't know what your revenue number is, which most of my people don't, when they come and join us, the finances, don't understand the business part. Hey, I didn't know that either when I ran my numbers, and you've got to be honest with yourself. The hard news gets to you. The hard news gets to you. So just think about that for a moment. Okay. All right. So the $1 million scenario, let's put $1 million up here. Let's say in the year's time, you're still doing $1 million. And the reason why I say that, because unfortunately, as all the books out there that you read, all the business books, all the coaching, all the stuff I've seen, witnessed personally, if your past is $1 million, your future will be $1 million, generally. All right. There are exceptions, without a doubt, but majority of people are. So what would good look like? In that scenario, would good look like 1.5 next year? Or would it look like best scenario, 2 million? Unfortunately, people do go backwards. I speak to people all the time. I haven't spoken to in a year, 2 years. We've been doing this for 7 years. We've got the notes, guys. When you do a session with me for free, I'll write everything down. It's just interesting to find out 2 years later, people have gone backwards or stayed the same, or have had a mental breakdown. It's hard. It's not easy. So you can go 750. Okay, you can get to 500K, and people say, "Oh, that won't happen to me." Shit happens to a lot of people. All right. I want to know, have you guys, really thought this way in the past? I'm just going to open this up, okay, quickly to anyone. First of all, have you guys written down the best, the good, the 12 months, the below, and the worst case scenario? I mean, the worst case scenario is probably going out of business in any scenario. Below is you're doing a whole lot of work extra, but you're not going forward. I'm just going to ask, has everyone done that quickly? I see some people nodding their heads, which is awesome. Wayne, you there? I want to ask you to unmute. You're nodding your head, you're coming up. Have you done that little exercise?
Absolutely. We've done that exercise. Probably on reflection, though, I think we've spent more time on the best and good. And
good. Nice.
Probably for obvious reasons, haven't spent a lot of time on the below and west. I think
good.
with the times, certainly I'm in the tech industry, so there are headwinds. So we're probably now going to start thinking about, building resilience and how do we cope if things aren't as optimistic as we'd hoped.
Yeah. It's look, it's we're in the right industry, and there is challenges happening overseas. I've got clients in the UK, I've got clients in the US. Things are impacting them already. So don't be naive. I know a lot of, we haven't had so many bad times in Australia besides the last 2 years of COVID, but prior to that, or New Zealand's the same. But it's coming. You've got to be resilient and you've got to be prepared for it. So don't be naive, guys. To have certain places, things in place. All right, Robert, you also, thanks for that share, Wayne. Robert, you in the picture. I love you putting your video on there. Have you done that exercise before, or have you done it just today for the first time?
Yeah, just today. Yeah. Well, no, we've kind of done it not formally. We've done it informally, I guess.
Good.
I apologize for joining late too. Sorry about that.
No, it's all good, mate. Look, I just want people to get as much of these from the sessions as possible. And there's a recording. If you have to jump off or get onto a call, that happens as well. So if anyone else wants to say anything, you can jump on there as well. Anyone else want to say anything before we carry on? All right. What I really want to just finish off on this diagram, really important, so you guys really understand, is where are you guys going? Which path are you taking? Is it the 12 months, the good, the best, the below, and the worst? All right. What are you going to do differently so you don't end up, as majority of companies, ending up the same 12 months? What are you going to do differently? There's no point not doing it. Otherwise, you are going to end up the same. All right. Really important. Really important. We take this through. We do an exercise with our clients to make sure that basically they're always going from good to best, or in that zone. In this zone is where we make sure our clients are working. All right.
I've got a question quick, yeah?
Yeah, go for it.
Question for startup companies. How do startup companies, as a one-man band, look at this future roadmap if they don't have team members around it? How do they reflect on that?
I think this is just personally. You can wind this back down to you as a person. If you're the only person in that business, and you are to do the startup, and you've got your vision and everything else, you've got a plan for what the vision is. You've got a plan to make sure that you are progressing as a startup company. We've got a lot of startup companies that join us as well. By the way, we've got 3 types of companies that join us. Startups, we call them 0 to 5 people, and then companies that are, we call them the Everest, which is the major cohort. And we've got the boardroom guys who are really been with us for 4 or 5 years, have got their numbers dialed and understand what they're doing, and they're freaking high-fiving each other and me, which I enjoy, which is what I do this for. And they're kicking goals left, right, and center. All right. So we've got 3 types of clients that really work with us. The startup guys, it's hard when you're by yourself. So, I think you've got to be really mindful that you've got little wins along the process to make sure you're achieving outcomes that you can pat yourself on the back, okay? Because it's hard being a business owner by yourself, okay? Or even if you've got 5 people and you're the only one as a business owner, it can be quite difficult. All right. Any other questions there, guys? We're just going to go quickly onto the strategic plan. This is a quick view of a strategic plan. Now, when guys join us, clients, we do this process with them. We probably spend 2-3 sessions on the plan, really nut it out one-on-one. And the reason why we do this is so that I can understand where they're going, so I can coach them and I can show them where to go and what to do, and all our collateral and what calls to join and what support we give them and all that sort of stuff to achieve that. Okay, that's one of the things. But the other thing is to make sure it's realistic, because the biggest trait that we have as humans is we always think we can do more than we can. Okay, hey, I'm the same. I do that all the time. I've got my coaches that coach me and say, hey, I think it's a bit out of control. I've even got PJ who keeps me accountable a lot of stuff. He actually says to me, that's ridiculous. Calm down. You can't do that and that. It's just too much. We're going to break the business. Okay, so I have these discussions with our clients to make sure that they are realistic plans to achieve. Otherwise, you're going to burn your staff out, you're going to burn yourselves out, people are going to leave. You know how hard it is to get people. It's one of the hardest things to do in IT services at the moment, or software, to get good staff. So you've got to take people on a journey. You've got to take people through a process where they basically, believe in the plan and actually believe in your business model. Okay, really important. This 1-page plan is actually 5 pages. We actually get the guys to put into one big page, and we actually get it printed. And that page is stick up in our clients' walls. We tell them put it up in the wall, and we tell them to put it up in the boardroom, in the lunchroom, anywhere that's visible to everyone to see. When I ran my business, I basically had this up the wall. I actually got this up the wall, and I've got a big office, home office, and I've got this up on the wall already. I know exactly where we're going for the next 3 years as a coaching business, right? And it helps me focus and execute on that. All right, so it's multiple reasons. Hiring staff, I used to do this, is have this up in my room. Staff would come into my office and basically say, hey, or new hires for the second or third interview, I'll be, third interview process. And I'll sit there and I'll go through them, hey, this is what we're going to do as a business. This is where you're going to be. This is how I want you to be involved as a consultant. Yes, you're doing 75% utilization. Yes, you're going to be doing this, but I need you to do this, this, this. We're going to give you the skills to do that. And this is what we do with our clients when we coach them. We do the same thing. All right, so we take staff on the journey. All right, everyone wants to know where their place is in their life. The business owners forget that all the time because all they're doing is thinking about the business. And now and then they have to think about the staff. The staff always thinking about themselves, as they should. So you've got to keep on reminding yourselves, where is their career path? Where is their next step to make sure that they stay and grow and be an asset of their business? Otherwise, they'll leave. Okay. All right. So the core values of your business. A lot of people have written them down on the website. They don't hire to them. They don't treat those core values as something that should be part of, of their actual systems in their business. Everything should come down to core values. The core values, what makes you who you are, is what makes the business. Now, if you've got a bigger team, you can get maybe 2 or 3 people. Have 5 or 6 core values, but you've got to have the basic English on the description of each core value. And you really got to understand that. It flows through from hiring to firing to making sure you've got the right staff, and also to make sure you behave in the right manner as a business. And also, when you match up with a potential client, those core values should align to their core values. We do this in the sales process for sales training. Don't go and jump on board and win a client without realizing, are they the right fit for you? Multiple ways. We've got a scorecard that we take people through. If you don't understand that, you're going to end up with a client and you're going, shit, we should not be there. That client treats our staff shit, treats us badly. In here, we want to make sure on this page, really, why? There's lots of whys here. What's the purpose of all this? What is it? Do you want to be the best data analytics company in Australia? Do you want to be the best data migration company? Do you want to be the best Azure company? Do you want to be the best software for HR or lawyers? Whatever you want to do, you've got to have a purpose. It could be by region, it could be Sydney, Melbourne, it could be Auckland, it could be whatever. But you've got to have something to go after, folks. You've got to put a stake in the ground to say we're going there, a flag where everyone is going to get to, and the team comes along and joins you on taking you to the flag. If you're a person with 10 staff and you're the only one that's thinking about your business, you have a problem. Years, I talk to 20 clients on average a week, and group calls on top of that. I know what's happening. I thought I knew how to run an IT services firm when I sold mine to NTT Data. I thought I did. But I've learned really more in the last 6-7 years doing this. It's phenomenal. I get an insight into every consultancy firm or software business that we are helping at the moment. I know the numbers. I know what's working. I know what's not working. This is important, right? Really important. Have actions. the main actions of why. What value is going to live? What's your BHAG? If you don't know what a BHAG is, Google it. We then break it down to 3, 2, 1 years. Your future date, make the date down, the revenues, the profit, the margin. Most of my clients don't know the numbers. It's fine. It's fine. Because we're going to teach them how to understand the numbers, what the numbers should be. All right. Some of our clients are 20% EBIT and above. That's where you need to be. If you're running a business, no, if you're at 3 or 4%, like some of these big DXCs and NTT Datas, all these like big system integrators, you don't get out of bed for that stuff. It's too much risk. You might as well just stop your business and go work for someone. Because if you're that point, you have one blip, one recession, one hiccup in the economy, and you're gone. So 20% is the ideal number you want to get to. How to get these multiple levers. There's 9 levers to get to 20% plus, which is where you want to be. All right, just give you a heads up. Your capabilities. And when we talk about capabilities, what are you actually going to be, building internally to get you to those numbers that you want in 3 years' time? All right. What are those capabilities? All right. Is it IP? Is it some service offering? What is it? Hiring some staff around a certain area? What is it? We talk about that all the time with our clients, making sure they know what capability is going to be around in 2-3 years' time, how much they invest and what they don't invest. All right. We have like a betting table, making sure they're doing the right bet. You should be doing the same thing as well. All right. Okay. The brand promise, really important. I'm going to skip through this stuff because you're going to get this template. If you haven't downloaded it, grab it. It's on the chat. Year 2 is slightly different. Year 2 and year 1 is very simple. The reason why, guys, when I speak to people, they come up with freaking pages on pages of spreadsheets on exactly how they build the budget and how they do the stuff. The reason why I keep this straight, simple, and forward is you can put a printer on your wall, number 1. But number 2 is things change so quickly, so fast. When we implement things, strategies with our clients, things are just move. Mostly, in the positive. Sometimes we've got to unbuckle things and go backwards to go forward, but 90% of the time it's going forward. So all I'm saying to you guys, don't spend too much on the plan. Put enough in it, enough meat, which is these pages, but don't overcook the plan because it's going to change so much. You're going to lose a lot of energy doing that. So some guys go, because we're technical background, a lot of us, we go to the nth degree. Don't do that. Keep it simple, keep it adjustable. So every time you can look at this once a quarter, you review this, you put in your calendar once a quarter, or review this. You just update it. All right. See where you're going right, where you're going wrong. Don't try and do some huge business plan of 80 pages. I get clients that come to me with 80-page PowerPoint packs. I go, fucking just dump it. You know what? It's like 3 months doing it. Yeah, exactly. Like, how long is it going to review that? We don't have time to review that. We're going to action stuff. We're going to do stuff. We're going to win work. Hire staff. You don't have time to do 80 pages. You're not 120 people. Like, that's when you got a full-time CEO. That's great. But most people don't. All right. Dump that shit and get onto the real stuff, which is simple, actionable, and very concise. We can show people what it's all about. All right. Same thing as one plan. Key capabilities for that year. Some of that stuff will go over to 2 years, 3 years. It doesn't matter. Some stuff you already have. You just got 60% of it quality. Get it up to 80%. Another thing, don't go the 100%. It just never stops. The 100% is elusive. It ends up going forever. Internally, we have a 6-week game plan for our clients and us. We run our business on 6 weeks. If you can't do something in 6 weeks, you've got to break it up and maybe do it in 2 6-week cycles, but stuff that. If you can't go live, 6 weeks, get rid of it. Same as building IP. All right. Basecamp, a project management company, they came up with some of those concepts. A lot of guys have been around there. Do not become a micromanager in a big project world, because we do that at our clients. Get away from that stuff as soon as possible. All right. Next thing is you've got to write the actions down, the themes. Have a theme on a quarter. So if you're doing something with your staff, get them involved in this process as much as possible. Some of it will be sensitive, some of it won't be. So it could be percentages wise instead of the revenue number if you don't want to have the staff to know your revenue number. That's fine. But put 10% growth or 120% growth or whatever it is. Okay. By the way, when you get to 10 people, it's quick to accelerate to get to 10 people as a company. You should be very profitable at 10 people. If you're doing sales and delivery yourself and doing the resourcing and everything else, 10 to 30 people, you have to reinvest in your business. From 30 people to 90 people, you're still getting the scales again. And then once again, you have to scale and reinvest as well. So we've got different cycles that you go through as a consultancy firm or a software company, slightly different from each one of those. That's the services firm cycle, life cycle I spoke about. But you need to make sure when you go through this, that the staff are part of the quarterly theme. All right. So guess what? If you get to a quarter, you get free drinks at the pub down the road, or we have a pizza night, free drinks, whatever it is that you guys want to do, whatever you can afford. If you got a little bit more cash, if we as a company get to this quarterly goal, utilization, one-selling or upselling stuff, what we're going to do is have a dinner. Have something to bring the team along the journey, right? Don't just do everything in a silo. Don't just send them an email out and say, well done, we did well, Jeff. Thanks for upselling that $500,000 or $50,000 piece of work or $500,000, whatever it is, piece of work. Thanks for upselling that or delivering it, whatever. Have something around it, draw people to it, give them an option of coming along the roadmap that you guys have. Have a scoreboard. We call it 5 dials internally. There should be 5 dials you're running with your business. Keep it simple. There are 5 metrics. Don't go and have 20 metrics. Keep 5 dials. Keep it simple. And then basically, don't know, when people come to us and we get them to fill this out, they battle, and I've got to go through it 4 or 5 times with them to make sure they actually do it. And once they do it, they're actually relieved. So, that's majority of people, they're relieved. They go, well, okay, I've got a bit of a plan now. It takes a bit of a monkey off my back because I know where we got to go, and I can tell our staff that. It's so simple. Okay. And it's quite amazing once you do this. So we've taken this concept from Rockefeller Habits. I've met the guy a couple of times, Vern Harnish. I met him a couple of times when I was running my first business, had breakfast with him. He's a New York bestseller, runs a whole thing called Scale Up. But what we've done is we've tweaked this for the services and software businesses, and we've actually put a lot of effort into it. So we've taken his idea and we've morphed it into what we want to do in it. So that's where we got this concept from, and it works brilliantly. We also, on top of this, do the rhythms, the huddles, the weekly huddles, the QBRs, all those type of things from another set of actions that actually give great outcomes as well, just to give you guys some insight of where it comes from. Okay, let's get on to it. So preload a calendar. This is important. Okay, a lot of people doing the wrong things at the wrong time, and like the shiny object syndrome, we always hear about it. Hey, I'm like that myself. I get a lot of little things. 90% of my time, I am basically focused on loading growth. I work in it on Tuesdays to Friday, and I work a lot of hours in it. And I enjoy it, and I do it because I love it. Okay. I've got other things outside. I've owned 2 breweries. I've got a whole lot of other stuff, commercial shopping centers, but I've got teams running that. And every now and then I have a call with them on a Monday, my day off. It's my me day. Okay. How do I achieve all that? A lot of people ask me when they get to know, how do I achieve that? It's through this process. I am religiously looking at my calendar. I am religiously looking at my output. I am religiously making sure that I am top of what I need to do to achieve what I do. Right. And this is some of the hacks that you've got to go through to achieve it. All right. And you're going to have to do this quite a few times to get good at it. So the first thing is, there's 3 little areas you've got to think about here in your life, in your personal life. So don't think about your business at the moment, even though you are your business, because, hey, sometimes they are your identity. All right. But you want to stop certain activities and you want to carry on stuff because you are doing some good stuff. And then you want to start doing some stuff as well. All right. And this processes the reset. And we run it twice a year for our clients, and some of our bigger clients, we do it for the staff. So what I want to do is quickly, I'm going to use you, Wayne, because you've been a good guinea pig so far, just to make it a little bit easier. So what I'm going to write here is, this is the process. We're going to stop certain things. We want to carry on certain things, and we want to start certain things. All right. So this is just a process to help us on. Now, you can use this in your personal life and doing everything. You can actually use this for everything that's involved with you, your family, the whole lot, because this is where it, all integrates. Okay. Unfortunately, you can't keep work siloed from your personal life. So try and do everything in one go through this process. All right. So what are the things, Wayne, that you're doing right now? Let's just think about what some of the stuff you're doing right now that you should stop doing. And it could be work, could be personal. Is there anything quickly out there, Wayne, that you should think, like, just think about it. Like, you look like a fit guy, but maybe you're eating too many hamburgers at lunch. I don't know. What are the things that you're doing that you shouldn't be doing? What's the stop things that you have you got anything in your mind?
Look, I think it's a great question because it's something we're focused on at the moment. And there's a lot of things in this category. Effectively, as a broad brush, I would say anything that's not getting us towards our 12-month OKRs are things we should stop.
Perfect. That's exactly it. Yeah, that's it. So, and that should be things that come up normally. I'll tell you what comes up normally. And this shop is micromanaging staff.
Yeah, unnecessary internal meetings.
Yeah, getting involved in all meetings. As I was writing that, being involved in all meetings. Like, because you're the owner of the business, people just tend to invite you to bloody every meeting. It's like, hey, why am I at this meeting? All right. Or at one point you were inviting yourself to those meetings, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You got to stop some of that stuff. If you don't have certain accountability
about the meetings, is stopping as well.
Yeah. Look, there's a ton of stuff that you could probably go through and write on your board what you should be doing and shouldn't be doing. I do that all the time and make sure I'm leveraging. My biggest strength, if you look at everyone's got a strength of everything. I don't look at the weaknesses because at the end of the day, we're moving too fast and we're doing too many things to worry about people's weaknesses. My biggest strength is leverage. I leverage. And I tell my staff and I tell my clients, have slopey shoulders. As a business owner, you've got to have slopey shoulders. If you're doing all the stuff, you're going to collapse. You're going to fall under the pressure. So stop doing a lot of shit, right? What are the things you're doing currently, Wayne, that you actually are doing and you're going, shit, it's working well, it's getting my 12-month goals, it's doing all these things? Give me a couple of things that you're doing currently carrying on.
Yeah, I think one of the things we're doing really well is being clear on our priorities. So, for example, the entire leadership team, not just the owners, are putting in their Eisenhower matrix, which highlights the things that are important for them. And it's great because when we get together and have a conversation, we're often sharing them and we can have a robust conversation about, is that really a priority? How is that moving us towards where we want to be next year? So that's something I want to carry on.
Okay, so you got a leadership team in there somewhere along the line. The leadership team seems to be working well. That's hell of important. You're obviously a decent size to have a leadership team. You can afford it. That's brilliant. You're on the way to some really good things there, having a leadership team. So carrying on empowering that leadership team is important. Even if you've got 5 people, you've got to have some leaders in that team. Doesn't matter if you're 5, 10, 100, 200 people. The bigger they are, the more leadership team you have. But most of those leadership teams at the big companies don't even work that well, unfortunately. It's just a fact of life. What are the things you're not doing at the moment that you should be doing, you reckon, Wayne? Just something out there. Is it, anything?
Yeah, I think enabling the level below the leadership team is definitely one that comes to mind.
Great.
Yeah,
so I call that extended management team if you've got one, or extended whatever, the bigger team behind it. Depends how big you are. Not everyone can be a manager or something like that, but yeah, the team below that. So you can bring in the career path of the next leaders over the next 2 to 5 years in your organization. Really good thing. That's something you've got to think about. So it could be things down here, just talking about carrying on. It could be engaging with customers. I'm a big believer that all people, owners of business, even if you're 115 people business, you should have connection to customers. You need to know what's happening as a business owner. You need to take ownership of certain things. All right. So if you're a 5-man business or a 100-man business, you've got to make sure that you actually are engaging with customers at all times. So carry on, start doing things. It could be start to free up time to think about strategic opportunities, or free up time to grow your business rather than be in your business. That could be something you could do. Set up half a day a week to do the thinking about the business, if it's small. Okay, just get an idea there. What you can do then is, once you've got those activities rounded up, all right, you've got to stop, carry on, start. You're going to write a list, guys. I'll spend an hour, 2 hours just writing the stuff up on your OneNote or something to that effect, wherever you want to do it, a whiteboard in your office. Write it all down, the things that you should be doing and shouldn't be doing, and carrying on. The next thing you want to do is talk quickly about the big rocks. What is actually making you money? What are the things making you money? I talk to clients all the time. We get down to the revenue, we get down to the model. Oh, this is making the money, but they're not doing enough of it, not focused on it, not treating it with respect. So there's a lot of different reasons why you want to make sure that you're focusing on the right things all the time. So you've got to know your numbers, but you also got to know the pulse of your business. But anyway, what are the big things that actually are changing, you for the year? What's the big rocks? What's the big things that are going to impact your business for the year? Could be webinars. It could be a whole lot of stuff. It could be JVs. It could be taking a product on or new service line, whatever it is. What are the big money makers for the year? Okay. You got to write those things down, right? Okay. What are they? You can probably write those down there, and you could probably put those things in here. This is the one I always leave in there as well. How many free days? I get a free day a year, a week, 1 free day a week. That KPI I gave to PJ when he came onto the business to manage the business. He has to give me 1 free day a week. If he doesn't do that, then I basically, I become destructive in my own business, to be honest. All right. I just love work, and I just get up and do more and more. And before I know it, I'm putting so much pressure on my business. So 1 day a week is actually really good. I go and do my own things I want to do. All right. So it could be different for you guys. But what's making your money? What's making the deals? What frequency you need to do that? You need to write those down. What are the big things, the big rocks that's going to change your business to go from 0 to a certain point in a period of time? Okay. The next thing is, what are the things that are smaller than that? What are the things that are smaller than that? What are the pebbles? Okay, we call them pebbles. So it's rocks, pebbles. What are the pebbles? Now, it could be things like holidays. Okay. People don't book their holidays in. If I was a business owner doing a services business now, which I am, but it's coaching, but IT services business, I know how hard it is, guys. I've done it 3 times. It's not easy. Book your holidays in before the year starts, if you can. And I say booking them, don't have to actually book them in the flights or whatever you're going to Fiji or Hawaii or something fantastic. Book them in your calendar. Your whole company needs to know for 2 weeks during December, 2 weeks during July holidays, 2 weeks during April holidays, whatever it is, you're away. You set yourself up for those holidays. So 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out, everyone knows. They know what's happening while you're away. You're not putting the business under stress. You're not putting yourself under stress. You're not answering emails, not doing conference calls away while you're on holiday. Okay. I take 10 weeks generally holiday a year. Most of it's overseas. When I do that, though, I do have calls with my clients because I do get a bit bored on the holidays. So I do calls, but not all the time. I do have times when I do things. But that gives you how I set myself up through this process to achieve what I wanted to achieve. All right. Anyway, the frequency, you got to write. Is going to be often that a lot of different things you need to have in there. Okay, so you can do the same part of the exercise. What are the big ticket items, the big rocks that you've got to achieve in your business? What are the smaller things that aren't rocks but pebbles little things. It could be certifications. It could be, writing a few articles. It could be doing a little webinar. It could be something else. I don't know. Going to a tech event in Vegas. I don't know what it is. But those things are pebbles. All right. You got to work out exactly what your pebbles are. Write them down. Okay. The next thing is sand. Now, sand's more personal. Okay. That's got to go this side. Swap around. Bit of a mistake there. But the sand snapshot, guys, is little things. Okay. Like family events, friends, birthdays, hobbies, anything that you want to do. If you want to go mountain biking once a year and WA is at a 5-day event, great, put that down. Put that in your calendar. Put all these things in your calendar. Make sure that you've got all this stuff written up. And I'm going to show you how this all relates to something pretty shortly. If you put all the stuff down into a calendar, you'll actually then be a lot more organized. You'll get a lot more out of your day, and you will only focus on the big ticket items. All right, this is where we're going. All right, so I'm going to show you this a bit more. You have a snapshot. That's my calendar. I'm just going to quickly do this, quickly packed. How we go is sort of like this. I'm going to draw a jar. All right. Just hear me for a second. Here are your rocks. Here are your pebbles. And you got your sand. All right. Once you've written down your list of items, write them all down. Okay. Once you've written all your items down, make sure, it could take a day or two. You've written everything down. We go, I want to do these things. I want to do that stuff with the business, big rocks, small pebbles, sand, all that. You write all down. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to realize straight away that you can't achieve all this stuff. You can't. It's impossible. Okay. I do this all the time. Because what's going to happen is, this is your calendar. The jar is your calendar, your cal. I want you then to take your stuff, this is how we want to think about it, and stick it into the jar. Unfortunately, guess what happens? Very quickly, stuff overflows. Very quickly, things break down. All right, this is what's happening all the time with you folks. Oh, we'll just do this next week. I'll do this. I'll rush around. We'll go do this. We'll go do that. No, bullshit. I'm calling it out there. You're trying to do too much, right? You're trying to fill that jar up, but you need basically 2 jars, 2 people. It doesn't work in reality. So what we go back to is the core fundamentals. Have your strategy sorted out. Work out your calendar. And then on top of that, make sure that you're working on the right next thing for your business, which we're going to get to next. Okay. So really important when I talk to people that they understand that they have a calendar. When I fill up my calendar, and we do this, Harry does this on my behalf, and I always thank him, is we fill out the calendar. This is my personal 2022 calendar. I fill it out on an Excel spreadsheet. I do not just go and dump it into Outlook. Once it goes into Outlook, you lose the context of the jar of what you can achieve. This is like my jar, next level jar. Once I've got all the stuff, I put it into a spreadsheet. Then I know exactly what's happening. Hey, I'm off to visit clients in a couple of weeks' time. Right? Victoria. I'm off to see my clients in Victoria. We're going to do a couple of dinners. We're going to do some awesome stuff. Great. I love that. Can't wait. PJ came down to Sydney for an event with me. Awesome. Met some clients down here. All right. I was doing some stuff. Oh, I'm taking my holiday here. I'm off to New Zealand for 4 weeks, 5 weeks, coming in December. All right. So I know at a glance what I can achieve in certain areas and certain days. Now, if you don't end up doing the stuff like this, you actually, you're not going to make it. So you got to fill out this calendar on a spreadsheet. Then you got to relate that calendar back into Outlook. Don't go and try and put stuff in Outlook. Half a day here, half a day here. It just doesn't work. Start off the high view, go down. I've been doing this, 500 people. I've coached this in the last year and a half, 2 years. Right? So believe me when I say this, make sure you get it right. in the calendar. Make sure you get this right. If you do this with the partner and you're 2-3 people in the partner as your company, do this with them. Look at theirs, look at yours, and hey, this is what we can do. This is what we can't do. All right. So you might have webinars, you might have client meetings, you might have certain things there. This is my calendar. Obviously, it's different. I'm coaching, but you need to have 3 days in between, guys. I even got the Saturdays and Sundays in here, as you can see. All right. But because sometimes I do stuff on Saturdays and Sundays, but you've got to have 3 days if possible. So I've got like 3 days here, 3 days, you know, certain things are happening. Certain things aren't happening. Do this in a spreadsheet, go through all the steps in the actual workbook and sort that out. It'll help a million. All right. We've got 25 minutes left. We're going to get on to the next piece, the Everest. Okay. Roadmap. We're on to the Everest roadmap. Now, this Everest roadmap, it's special. I'm not lying. I don't want to talk it up, but it's special and it's amazing. And the reason why it's amazing is when we go through all the stuff that we've just gone through with our clients, we get to the roadmap and we work out what is the right next thing for you as a business. And once we've worked that out, we book that into a 6-week game plan, and our clients have got to achieve whatever they want is as the right next thing, as we agree to achieve over the next 6 weeks. And we have sprint cycles. As a community, we do that together. All right. So we actually are working on sometimes the same thing. Sometimes we're not working on the same thing. It doesn't matter. It's about getting things done and stopping things before they get out of hand. A lot of the time, clients, because we are built this way, because we're technical, generally most of us are, because it's IT background, we just can't stop building. Stop it. You don't need everything. You don't need the Ferrari. You just need momentum. You need a skateboard. Okay. And I go through this all the time with our clients. When I talk to our clients and I talk to clients, practice directors, and they want to build some IP and they want to do some fantastic stuff, I get on a call with them and say, what do you want to build? I go, wow, that is actually awesome. After 20 minutes, they tell me about it. I go, laugh, that's brilliant. I love that shit. I do. This is my background. I love it. And then 20 minutes later, I say, okay, how long is it going to take? Oh, it's going to take 6 months. It's going to do this. It's going to have 5 people involved. I go, wow, you only have $4 million business and you're going to spend 6 months doing that. I don't think it's really worth it. Let's really throw this on its head. Let's look back at what you really need. Let's look back at building a skateboard first. Once you've got that skateboard in 6 weeks' time, you've got some momentum with the client on that IP or that software product or that release. The next thing after that skateboard, you can get a scooter. And after skateboard, a scooter, you get a freaking Toyota Corolla, right? A vehicle to get you A to B quicker than a scooter. Then after that, maybe the next 6 week cycle, you get the Ferrari. Don't go for Ferrari first. It just doesn't work. You're going to fail every time, all right? Waterfall approach does not work in a small business. You need to be agile, quick, and it costs your money if you're the business owner. And I'm really serious about it because at the end of the day, I want you guys to make more money so you can invest in yourselves and your personal lives and also in your business to grow your asset, your biggest thing you'll ever have. When people say to me, oh, the house is the biggest asset, I go, that's true. That is true. It is your biggest asset. But really, if you're running a freaking RT services business and you're doing half decent, that's your biggest asset. All right. Really is. You can make a lot more money out of it. All right. This is our roadmap. When I get people to join us, we actually work out where they need to be at quite quickly through this couple of steps we've been through. And the important thing is in the shareholders agreement, sorry, the fonts and everything else has sort of come through because it's PDF from the deck. Anyway, how we work this thing is, as you'll see on the right-hand side, is what is your right next thing? Really important. People, when I give this thing to them, go, oh, we tick that off. They tick off a whole lot of things. I don't know what it is. Let's just tick stuff off just to make it. We need all that stuff next. I go, fantastic. That's good. But no. How big's your team? No. No, that's maybe one thing. So that's the thing you got to do next. Create a framework. Oh, maybe not too exciting, but it is what you need. You've got to get on and do it. And yes, we've got accelerators. We've got content. We've got templates to help them through that process because that's what we do. We want to make sure that we get you guys quicker and faster up to the next level to make more money and everything else and keep you long-term as a client. That's our goal. All right. Be part of our community forever. That's my goal. All right. So a lot of the stuff we come with content. So when someone says, hey, design a hero freaking service, we've got content around how to do that. All right. If you want to do brainstorm calls or strategy calls with your clients, not go and knock on doors like you always do, then we've got content, we've got a process for that as well. We've got everything is here, you see. So what we do is we say to the guys, hey, hang on, what you need is to do this. Okay, it's a career framework. Okay. You got 6 weeks to do it. Let's get it on. Let's say Jeff's by himself and he's only business owner. And he's got 5 guys working for him, or 10 guys, whatever it is. We look at the thing, right? It could be, you know, the one-page strategy. This is what we just done. Or it could be meeting rhythms, or could be, you know, we call it lead gen, LinkedIn, serious stuff that we do. And PJ does it. I'm going to actually get PJ, if you've got time, to go through that at the end. But, you know, we start off with different things. So we've got different people come to different sessions. We're about bringing your business along the journey. It's not about one guy and he's going to fall with all the pressure. When we coach, we bring everyone along the journey. When you're doing this internally, even if you don't join us, you take your company along the journey. Don't be the only guy, okay? So this here, though, will be the only thing you do with us or by yourselves as owners, is this type of stuff. You've got to work hard. Designing your life, shareholders agreement, all these things need to get done, all right, at some stage. Then we move on to the leadership team. If you've got a leadership team or 2-3 people, or your second consultant you've hired, or whatever it is, bring them on this journey. That's when you get them involved with this session here. They'll come to certain sessions. We'll let you know beforehand what session they should come to, what session they shouldn't come to. Okay, really important. Okay, that's how this whole game plan works. You guys got it all there. The thing is, what we bring is all the stuff to it. Okay, really important. Just have a look. One of the things that we do often is we offload basic tasks. One of the things our clients need to do is drop shit at not doing. You know, we've got a VA team in the Philippines that we just give to our clients access to our clients when they need them, and they're just doing some work for them. Even we just don't care. Just I'll go on holiday, come back, and 2-3 VAs are working for our clients, and I go, wow, freaking brilliant. It costs them nothing, and they are freeing themselves up to win deals, deliver projects, do more exciting things. So offload basic tasks is one of the things we really push hard for our clients to join us. And you need to think about that, guys. You need to offload those tasks that you're not actually adding value or even don't want to do. Just get rid of them as soon as possible. It'll free you up to do better things. Lead gen, quickly, PJ, got 5 minutes to go through lead gen. I'm just giving you an example because this is quite detailed. We brought the lead gen, and we've been doing it for like 3 years, 2.5 years, I think now. We brought the lead gen, and PJ teaches that and coaches that and gets people to great success, because there's 2 areas where where clients come on board where they fail generally is lead gen marketing. They don't understand it. They think they know it, but we've actually taken it and we actually do it for a lot of our clients as a something that we do externally. PJ, do you want to quickly run through it?
Yeah, just
to give them a highlight.
Just with regards to lead gen, is with this specific diagram, is a lot of people think, as Ian just said, and they know a lot about, or they know how lead gen gets done and so forth. But in actual fact, you've got to understand your business first and foremost. Okay, what you guys are, who you guys are, what you're about, what services you guys provide, what product you guys do, who your target market is going to be, how you're going to go to market, how do you create content to produce to that PFCs, we call them, perfect future clients, okay? And a lot of that comes around in building a framework, working with Ian to understand it. So a lot of guys come to us and say, hey, we've got problems with lead gen. We don't have enough clients. Well, that's part of the problem. So that's why we brought this into the E12 program, is because clients do have problems getting leads, okay? And how do we go in about lead generation? It's not just getting leads, it's about nurturing and educating those leads, okay? And that's why we run a lot of programs within lead generation with regards to like the weekly client machine that we do. We do a lot of webinars with the guys. So it's a lot of engagement that we need to do, okay, part of lead generation. But basically, this is a quick snapshot model of what we do with our clients. We use LinkedIn as our platform. that we do all our lead generation. We offer a full-time CA. It's a campaign assistant. When people do lead gen with us, why is that important? Because they do the heavy lifting for you. They do the work for you. Lead generation is a full-time job, guys. A lot of companies out there say, hey, we can do lead gen for you, but they don't offer the services to back up lead gen. Okay. And lead gen, the biggest part of lead gen is on the left-hand side is the marketing. Okay. The passive and active and automated marketing that we do, part of lead gen, is vitally important with regards to engaging with those PFCs, sending out content on a specific date, regularly, fresh content to those specific people. Okay. Because you've got to show social proof to people. You've got to be engaged with people. You've got to know what's happening in the industry, what the problems are, how you guys can solve their problems. You've got to take them on a journey from A to B. They've got a problem. All they want to know is you've got a solution to provide for that problem. Okay. Part of that is we also go and get leads. Yep. Sorry, who's talking?
Yeah, it's me. Sorry, carry on. Sorry, carry on.
So part of that is we also go and get qualified leads for you guys, meaning is that we're going to go and do a persona for you guys on who you want to go and target. We come up with a list of those people. So they are your specific people that you want to get involved with. Okay. We get them committed as in they are engaged with you guys. And then all you guys have to do on the whole process, which is the last bit of framework, is close the deal. You guys are, and this is the hard part, where Ian coaches a lot of people through, is actually picking up the phone and having a conversation with people. So we do all of this work for you guys, but the sales is what you guys have to do. And lead generation is a lot of work. Okay.
It's a lot of work. And if you're building a company for 3-5 years out, you know, this lead gen takes 6 months, really. You can get some stuff happening in 90 days, but it's 6 months, 12 months, it really comes back. And it's a thing you got to start sooner rather than later. It doesn't happen tomorrow.
Yeah,
we can do this, we can do this, you know, but it doesn't work that way.
So generally, with all our clients that go through this process, is people think it is a 90-day program that we run, but it's more a 6 to 9 month program. Okay, because it's about lead gen with regards to nurturing and educating your clients. Okay, there's a whole sequence of doing things to actually get results from lead gen. It's not a quick fix to get lead gen done. Okay.
Yeah, that's really good. Thanks for that. So, you know, he's got this lead gen whole roadmap there as well. It's on your plan. The IMA system here is our internal system. It's an IT marketing automation system, which we give to our clients. It's part of the sign-on fee and everything else. And that is, you know, if you look at something like HubSpot, it actually competes with HubSpot. It's and the Marketing Hub, which is $17.50 a month. You sign up to the contract. All our clients join us, generally have Marketing Hub, HubSpot, and they sign up for a year, can't get out of the contract. Straight out after the contract, they're back into IMA. And that's what our team helps them do. We've got a team offshore that's really, really, really relatively cheap, $25 to $75 an hour, AUD, to actually get them to do the activity, the design work of the trigger emails, the social media, all that sort of stuff. We've actually built that up.
Thanks for joining us, Archie. Cheers.
Yeah, and that's really, really how it works. So important to understand that. In the back of these things here, I just want to imagine, when you do look at this roadmap, just do one thing at a time. If you're small, don't do too much. Start this side and go from that side backwards. You know, it's sort of like the Japanese. Start from one side and go to that side, and then work your way up the levels. Make sure that you go through that process really at the top. Okay. And there's two sides of this map. One's really the attract and convert, and the other part is the deliver and the scale side. Okay. So, you know, we talk about things, and there's a lot of topics we do here in our sessions with our clients that aren't even on this topics. We cover everything. We really cover these areas. Sorry, wrong pen. We cover these areas here. We talk about services, rates, hiring an A team, how to actually do sales, how to work with clients, how to actually get the best out of each client and make sure they get a great outcome from you as well. Talk about marketing and become leaders as a leadership team and really, attracting the best people in your business, to your business, sorry. So that's what we do with the roadmaps. We've got a bit more behind that, but we do sessions on each of these things in the boxes, and we record them, and you can watch them later, or your team can watch them different hours, and we have different times. We have a call in our business for our clients on a Monday and a Wednesday around lead gen, Tuesday and a Thursday around scaling your business, as we call it. And then we have individual sessions, and then we have what we call intensive. So how it works internally is you can take some of the stuff away and use it internally yourself. Is how do we actually do this? Is basically make sure that you actually, if you do ever come to us, we've got, as we call, intensive meetings. We get together 3 times a year virtually at the moment. It's March, July, and November. We've got a November one coming up. And we do 2 half days, 3 times a year, starting at 8 to 11. And we have a whole lot of guest speakers, external guest speakers, coming in to talk to us. So in that scenario, we've got, at the moment, we've got a leadership coach talking about crisis management, how to talk about crisis at a leadership perspective internally, also with your business, and also, crisis management with clients. That's one of the topics. The other one is someone that we know really, really well, who has gone and scaled their business and sold their business to a big integrator, and who's just left that integrator. So there's this whole journey from startup right through to exit, and what was the pitfalls and wins he had out of it. We've got a whole lot of more things coming on those sessions, but there's 2 half days we do basically in November, July, and March. And then on top of that, we obviously have our calls, which we just talked about, Monday and Wednesday. We have the lead gen calls, and scaling your business, really around all things around that, are Tuesdays and Thursdays. Lots of time you get together as community, ask questions, and we've got platforms for all that type of stuff. We have one-on-one focus calls in May, September, and January, just so we're dialing in to each company to make sure they're getting the right things. You can use that same process for yourselves, even without coaching with us. Just take that, lift it, and use it. Okay, that's why it's in the actual pack for you guys. There's a whole lot of stuff there. All right, so that's that. What I'm going to quickly do is just do another diagram on how we actually work as an organization. So when people talk to us, they know what we do. So we've got 3 circles, okay? And the first circle is loading growth. Okay, that's us, the coaching business. We coach, we have accelerators, templates, all that stuff. We just leverage everything. We keep on building more and more stuff. And it's so easy for you to implement. We've got to make sure you guys implement. So it's no point coaching and you can't implement because you're too busy. So we've worked that out. We've got to help you implement so you actually get results. The next thing on top of that is VAs. We've got a sort of a VA business, right? And the VAs are basically people to help you. We call them Sherpas, all right? They help you with lead gen, they help you internally, they're helping our clients all over the place and doing various different things. And they are basically helping our businesses do that, so our businesses accelerate, so they can focus. I want them to be coached as much as possible. When I talk to clients, they're too busy, they're not listening to me. I say, what do you want to do? Hire a bookkeeper internally or from Australia, or get someone external. I don't care if you don't use us, get someone and do that stuff. You know what I mean? Those type of things. The IMA is our automated system that we use. We put all our content. So for example, we do webinars. A lot of our clients do webinars really, really successfully. We've got a 16 email process, landing pages, everything else built into that solution, which they just use. Their solution, we give them the keys to it, and they basically use it. And that's how we accelerate their go-to-market. So I've got clients that are big clients that can't even freaking get a webinar together. And what we do is we just run that whole process for them. Bang, they get results, okay, straight away. And even if you're a small business, we do the same thing. So what we've done is we've got 3 areas to make sure that you are winning. So this is how we scaled our business. This is our we've came up with our business model, if anyone really wants to know our business model. So we've got the coaching business, okay, as I mentioned before, the loading growth. We've got the VAs to help people do work and to achieve great stuff and at a really reasonable price. And then we've got the IMA, Internet Marketing Automation Solution, okay? And we use that system to underpin a lot of the marketing, the sales stuff. We've got playbooks and all that stuff in there. But we do a lot of coaching around, we call the 9 areas of your business, which covers everything in your business. And we've got a team of 22, 23 people in total supporting you there. All right. That's what we do, because a lot of people get confused what we do. I'm really passionate about this, to be honest, but I need these 2 things here to get my clients to achieve amazing results. Right? If you can't, if I don't have these 2 areas, guys, this is like a pain in my life, to be honest. I don't want to be horrible to the team that's on the call, but it's not what I want to do. All right. It's what I need to do to get my clients from A to B as quick as possible in the journey. So when I map up that business plan, that strategy, and they want to be 3 years, I want to be here, I say if it's possible, not possible, I can tell you straight away within like an hour working with you. Can you achieve, that growth 20% year on year for 5 years? No, most of the time it's not, if you're not set up for success. All right. Any questions on anything today that we've had? Sorry, it's a bit of a rush to the end. It's got 3 minutes to go. Any questions? Have a look at what we do and achieve and all that stuff there. You can use it internally yourselves. It doesn't really matter, guys. Not a pitch to sell anything. It's really some of the stuff you should be doing internally all the time. Okay, so just get a bit of focus on it. That'd be good. I've just looked at my phone. I think 10 people have already signed up for a meeting with me, which is great. It's a free 45-minute call for those that haven't. If you want to have a personalized session with that, please jump on there and do the 45-minute call and let's have a chat. And I can go through this a bit more, personalize it for you with the templates that you've got so you can get something out of it. If you're one man's or 100-man business, it's a lot easier if I do that. If you're a 100-man business, bring a whole team of people along it. It's more fun as well when I do that. Okay. Any questions? I said thanks. Someone said thanks, Rich. Awesome, Rich. Thanks. I hope you enjoy it, the time and everything else. That's great. Anyone else? Someone said thumbs up. Who's that? Said thumbs up.
That's Rich.
Richard. Richard. I haven't got back to you. Sorry, I went away to Indo surfing. I apologize. I was surfing for 2 weeks and went snorkeling with the family on the Turtles for a week. Off of Ireland. It was amazing. I've got photos and stuff. It was just great. Was I supposed to give? I sent you a voice message. Did you get back to me on that?
No, we're good, mate. We're good. We'll catch up again soon. No worries.
Okay. I don't ever push people, but I feel like if I haven't got back to you and I should have, it's my bad. I get really pissed off for myself if I did that. So yeah. Anyway, Richard, maybe we should have a chat. Book it some time. Thanks a lot. I hope everything's going well with your projects and everything else. Rob, you on the call? Anything we can help you with, my mate, my friend?
I want to have another look and have a bit more thinking. Yeah.
Okay,
But
good, man.
Session.
No, it's good. We're here to serve and help people. So if you've got any ideas, book a 45-minute call in, and if you don't want to do it last minute, just cancel it. My calendar, as I said, is going to be booked up till November, and then I'm not doing this until February again. So it's a bit of a challenge because I'm under the pump. I've got clients I've got to serve. I can't do everything for free. This is just trying to get the community going and get people to help people as much as possible through that process.
Okay,
so
cool.
If you've got time and you want to book it in. All right, time's up.
Thanks very much for your time. Team, panel, thank you all everybody for joining us. It's been a great session. I appreciate you guys' time and joining us. If you guys have any other questions, as Ian said, feel free to jump on. There's no sales talk. Ian's generally here to help guys. He's trying to help people win, kick goals, grow their businesses. Okay. So I wish you all the best. Have a great weekend. Smash it out. Have a good time with the family. Thanks for the team for pinging everything. And I hope to see you guys soon. For those who join on LinkedIn Live, great. Thank you very much for joining us. And see you guys soon.